6 Naruto characters who suffered the most. Let's chat, guys. Number 1, Naruto Uzumaki, the loneliness that started before he could spell it. Naruto's suffering begins in silence, not the dramatic kind, no screaming, no blood, just doors closing, eyes turning away, conversations dying the moment he enters a room. He grows up carrying a beast inside him, but the real monster is how the village treats him, like a walking disaster with a child's face. He doesn't understand why adults glare at him, why kids are warned to stay away, why kindness feels like a rumor instead of a daily reality. So he becomes loud, not because he's confident, but because if he's noisy enough, he can pretend the emptiness isn't eating him alive. There's a specific kind of pain in watching other kids get hugged, scolded, cared for, while he learns to cook for himself, clean for himself, survive for himself. He doesn't just want attention. He wants proof he exists in a way that matters. Even when he's finally recognized, it comes after years of risking his life. Naruto's tragedy is that he had to earn what most people are simply given, belonging. And yet somehow, he still turns his hurt into warmth. That's what makes his suffering feel so sharp, because it never makes him cruel, it just makes him human. Number 2, Sasuke Uchiha. The moment childhood ended in one night. Sasuke's pain is explosive, like a home struck by lightning. One day he's a kid with a brother he admires, living inside a proud clan. The next day, he's stepping through a massacre that rewrites his brain. It isn't just grief, it's trauma with a face. He's forced to look at death where love used to be. Every hallway becomes a crime scene, every memory becomes poisoned, and worst of all, the person responsible is the one person he trusted most. Sasuke doesn't get the luxury of mourning slowly. He's shoved into obsession. Revenge becomes the only structure holding him up. People later criticize him for being cold, but cold is what happens when a child's heart has to become a weapon just to keep beating. And even when he gains power, it doesn't heal him, it isolates him. Every step toward vengeance is another step away from friendships that could have saved him. Sasuke suffers in a way that's hard to fix. His pain becomes his identity. If he lets go, who is he? That's the tragedy. He isn't chasing evil, he's chasing relief. He just doesn't know the difference anymore. Number 3, Itachi Uchiha, the burden of being right at the cost of being loved. Itachi's suffering is quiet, controlled, almost invisible, because he's trained himself to never break. He's a boy forced into a man's war, a genius praised for his skill, then used for it. While others dream about the future, Itachi calculates casualties. While others form friendships, he forms contingency plans. Then comes the choice that ruins him. Sacrifice his entire clan to prevent a bigger catastrophe. People can debate politics all day, but his emotional reality is brutal. He murders the world he grew up in and agrees to be remembered as a villain. He doesn't just lose his family, he loses his name. And the cruelest part? He chooses to become the monster in his brother's story. He lets Sasuke hate him because that hatred might keep Sasuke alive and moving forward. That's a special kind of suffering, living as a lie on purpose, smiling when you deserve tears, standing tall while your soul is collapsing. Itachi doesn't just carry guilt, he carries a plan built on loneliness, and he sticks to it until the end. He suffers so deeply that even his love has sharp edges. Number 4, Gaara, a child taught that love is a trap. Gaara's pain is like being born into a storm and told the thunder is your fault. From the beginning, he's treated as a weapon, not a son, not a child, a container for terror. His own village fears him so much they decide he should never feel safe, because safe things grow soft, and soft weapons don't win wars. Assassins are sent after him repeatedly, and every attempt sends the same message: you shouldn't exist. Then comes the emotional knife twist. Learning that the person he thought loved him was never allowed to, and was ordered to hate him. It's the kind of betrayal that doesn't just break trust, it breaks the idea of love itself. So Gaara builds a new rule. If love is unreliable, fear is better. If people won't accept him, he'll force them to. His suffering is watching a child become a monster because nobody gave him permission to be anything else. And when he finally meets someone who understands that loneliness, someone who reaches out without flinching, you can almost feel the old wounds screaming. Healing hurts when your pain has been your only companion. Number 5, Kakashi Hatake, a life made of goodbyes. Kakashi's suffering is a long timeline of loss, isn't one tragedy, it's a collection. First, his father, an admired shinobi, falls under the weight of shame and the cruelty of public judgment. Kakashi learns early that even heroism can be punished, and that the village's approval can turn into a blade. Then, Kakashi becomes a prodigy, the kind people celebrate, while forgetting prodigies are still children. He's pushed into missions, into violence, into responsibilities that carve years off his innocence. And then the deaths stack up. Teammates, friends, mentors. Every bond he forms seems to end in a grave. Kakashi's pain shows up in how he speaks, how he arrives late, how he stares at the sky like he's counting ghosts. He's the kind of person who laughs softly, not because things are funny, but because it's the only way to keep his chest from caving in. His suffering is surviving. Over and over. Living long enough to remember everyone who didn't. Number 6. Nagato. Pain. Hope that died, then came back as punishment. Nagato's story begins in a world that doesn't care if children live. War turns homes into rubble and turns hunger into routine. He loses his parents, and he loses them violently. So the idea of peace becomes less like a dream and more like a joke the world keeps telling. Then for a moment, he finds light, friendship, purpose, a belief that things can change. That's the dangerous part, because once hope exists, losing it hurts more than never having it at all. Nagato watches that hope bleed out. He watches the people he loves die. He watches ideals get crushed under politics and violence, and eventually he decides the world can't be saved by kindness. It has to be forced into submission through suffering. His pain evolves into philosophy. He becomes pain, because he thinks pain is the only language humans truly understand. And that's what makes his tragedy so haunting. He isn't evil for fun. He's a broken believer. Someone who tried to build peace, failed, and then decided the only way to end the cycle was to become the cycle, so everyone else would finally stop. The scene returns to that lantern-lit street. The narrator's voice softens like someone closing a book carefully. These 6 characters suffered in different shapes: loneliness, betrayal, guilt, rejection, loss, and the collapse of hope. But what ties them together is what they did after the suffering. Some turned pain into compassion. Some turned pain into obsession. Some turned it into sacrifice. Some turned it into warning signs for the world. And maybe that's why their stories hit so hard. Because beneath the jutsu and battles, they remind everyone watching of something simple and real. Pain doesn't just change people, it reveals them.